Hello K-Korner fans, it's your host Crown, ready to bring you another batch of fascinating, sometimes outrageous stories from everyday life. You never know what's around the corner, and these tales prove just that. From the unexpected to the unbelievable, we've got it all covered. So settle in, relax, and let's embark on this storytelling journey together. Remember, if you enjoy these stories, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Now, let's get into it. I work at a rather famous home supply and maintenance store. I won't say the name, just in case, but to set the scene, a month or so ago, Karen and her husband came in to buy an appliance. They happened to come on a very busy day, and we only had 2 people in the appliances, one of whom was going on her lunch. Well, apparently Karen wasn't happy that a couple of men who'd already been waiting were served ahead of her and pitched a tantrum, even going so far as to go up to the girl leaving for her lunch, who was no longer in uniform, was talking to another employee and berating her for ignoring her. The girl told her multiple times she wasn't on a clock, and Karen informed her it didn't matter. She would help her right then. The girl told her she could wait or take her business elsewhere, and went about her business. This apparently pissed off Karen and her husband as he proceeded to call customer service. I happened to be covering their desk and began yelling at me that he was a man of the class, and that if we were going to serve other men before his wife, we would freaking serve him first. I laughed at him, said that's not how things work, and hung up the phone. We didn't take abuse at my store. I definitely refuse to, and the managers generally support us in that. The funny part? Our town has a local Facebook page where you can post reviews and events, and Karen decided to make a massive post about what happened. Only she actually didn't. She twisted it so that it seemed she's been purposely ignored. She hadn't, she just didn't want to wait in line. Denied service, she wasn't. She confronted and cursed at the teenage employee who was off the clock, and she and her husband had been verbally abused by every employee in the store. They had spoken to the girl and to me, and neither of us abused them. We were both abused. Of course, at first she got sympathy from a lot of women of the same mentality. A lot of "no one wants to work anymore" comments, but one of our cashiers happened to be told about it and showed me. I'm pity. I'll admit it beforehand, but I made a fake Facebook account. I don't do social media much beyond lurking on Reddit, and joined the town's page. Needless to say, I first commented in explicit detail everything that actually happened, including direct quotes from the other girl. Then, to sink the "screw you Karen" knife a little deeper, I copied my post and replied to every comment on her post. This isn't actually what happened was insert comment here. Within moments, the entire town turned on her. Hundreds of comments calling her a liar and a horrid person. The next morning, the post was gone, and she's never returned to our store. Was I a bit of a Karen myself? Maybe. But when it comes to my fellow employees, I tend to find pity fire with pity fire. And thanks to the situation, and several more since then, I become the go-to for dealing with Karens and rude customers when my co-workers can't get a hold of a manager. No way this can end badly, right? I have never seen this happen anywhere. This morning I went to our local Mier. For those who don't know, Mier is a Michigan brand. I'm pursuing the fruit hoping to find cotton candy grapes. They are my kryptonite. The produce section begins on a lift, right when you walk in. Found my grapes, walked back towards the main entrance to get a street taco kid thing. I am right by the door, not even 100 feet away. And here comes this crazy Karen. She just looks like she's on a mission to talk to someone's manager. So I started recording her when she got busy with the greeter. The greeter informed her that she has been tracked by Mier Theft Recovery and is identified as a thief. It was at this point my phone died. I continued to pretend to record her to solicit a good Karen worthy response. She had already been flagged previous to this. They turn a tracker thing tied into the price tag barcodes. The greeter tells her, "I'm sorry ma'am, but you're already on our list of trespassed individuals, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave." She was super polite. The crazy Karen flips out. Total meltdown. She screams they made a mistake, she's never stolen anything. Then she asks for a manager. The general manager happened to be at the store today, and now I am fully committed to watching this play out. He came up with a tablet and said, "So this isn't you? This isn't your car and license plate leaving the store after stealing merchandise? And here is when crap popped off. Karen getting more red-faced as he's talking to her. She looked like Aunt Marge in Prisoner of Azkaban, mixed with Mrs. Puff. Karen starts screaming at a decibel I previously thought was reserved for dogs. How dare you? You really think that's me? I've never stole anything. I've been coming here for 20 plus years. I can't believe how you're treating a paying customer. Give me the number for corporate. The general manager gave her the number. He told her that she needed to leave or he would call the cops. The crazy Karen gets all huffy and puffy and says, I'm never coming back. The GM said, well, if you do decide to come back, you'll be arrested. I probably wouldn't recommend coming back. Crazy Karen then sees me recording, shrieks like a wild banshee, and starts the whole you can't record me song and dance. The GM finally had to physically grab her arm, not in a painful way, and lead her outside. She was hysterical. She started slapping him and kicking him in front of the store. I went back to shopping and when I exited the store, there were 2 police cars parked out front, but I don't know if it was for her or not. I couldn't see anyone in the back of the cop cars, and I would imagine it was her they came for. Hey K-Korner friends, enjoying the show? Click that like button to show some love and drop a comment to share your thoughts. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe to join our amazing community for more awesome stories. Alright, let's dive back into our next tale. I'm so upset my hands are shaking right now, and my mind is racing, so please try to stay with me. A little backstory: my daughter 12 and I, 32 female, were finally able to leave her father about a year ago. I've been actively trying to since the day I found out I was pregnant. He started as my college boyfriend and became increasingly controlling and extremely violent with me, and it took over a decade to get out. The only reason I was able to leave without him interfering this time is because the law is involved and he's facing serious jail time or a suspended sentence if he contacts me within the next 10 years. I moved back to my hometown to be closer to my family. He had moved us to his hometown after college, probably to isolate me. But I haven't had the greatest relationship with them either. My mom passed away when I was 2 and my dad remarried a year later. My stepmom had a 10-year-old son at the time, and from my ages 4 to 10 he abused me in every way. When I finally told my dad and stepmom about it, the reaction was disappointing to say the least. They really didn't do anything about it because he was leaving the house for college, so I guess they thought that was a fine resolution. So when I left for college, I pretty much never looked back. When they found out I was pregnant, they tried to reach out to make amends so that their granddaughter could be in their lives. But I resisted really until we moved back to our hometown last year. I have no contact with my stepbrother, but my dad and stepmom have really been making an effort where my daughter is concerned. And the more people that she has that love her, the better, I guess, since she's completely lost her dad's side. Anyway, last weekend was one of my cousin's birthday, and the family was all in my aunt's house for the get-together. I was talking to one of my cousins about what we each had coming up this week, and I told her that I was trying to figure out when I'll be able to get all the supplies my daughter needs for her Geary Scouts camping trip this weekend. I have my master's, but I hadn't worked in about 9 years for reasons that I now understand were just about control and financial abuse. So the jobs I have now are not great. I work 2 jobs and my only off shift is this morning. But I didn't want to wait till the last minute to get everything. What if I couldn't find everything in just a few hours? And also my daughter has anxiety and hates leaving things till the last minute. It kills me that she thinks I'm always putting off getting what she needs, but I'm not procrastinating. I just don't have the money in advance and have to wait till I make it to be able to buy things. We found out about the camping trip about 3 weeks ago and the timing freaking sucks cause obviously Christmas is also coming up and all the things on a list I figured out will cost me about $250. No worries though, there is literally not a thing that I wouldn't do for my daughter and I'd already signed up for OT for Christmas. So I just added some more hours to be able to get the supplies as well. My stepmom heard me saying how I didn't know when I could fit the shopping trip in my schedule, so she came over and volunteered to help me out with it. I hesitated because she's obviously not my favorite person in the world, and my cousin was even kinda laughing cause she knows I don't like her, but I eventually agreed. My daughter needs these things and I didn't want to jeopardize her getting what she needs just because of my feelings. My stepmom was like, I'm retired. I have all the time in the world this week. Give me the list and I'll get it done, blah blah. Also, I knew this was going to require me spending a lot of time walking around Walmart. I have lupus, extreme joint pain from my toes to my neck, and my ex broke my tailbone and my back in 2 places. So it's really difficult and painful for me to walk around that hard floor for long periods of time. So the next day, Sunday, I went over to their house and gave her the $250 plus $30 for a beginner crochet kit that my daughter really wants for Christmas. We talked about the list. I told her the sizes I needed for the sweater sets that I picked out, and just gave her the details that she needs. So I didn't hear anything from her that day, but I worked both jobs and I was busy. Plus, I wasn't expecting her to go out and get everything that day, so it was whatever. Monday though, she let me know that she'd come down with a cold and probably wasn't going to get it till Tuesday. I've been texting her all week and she's been saying that she's still not feeling well, but she will get to it as soon as she can. So today is when I would have been able to do it myself. There is a teacher's work day on Monday, so they are going Saturday to Monday. I wanted to go by last night to just pick up the money so I could take care of it myself today. I call and text a bunch of times and no answer. Finally, I call my dad and ask him if he can grab the money from her so I can come pick it up. He didn't know what I was talking about, so I briefly explained and he said he will call me back. He didn't call me or answer my calls last night and just came over to my house this morning. He just dropped on me that my stepmom has been addicted to painkillers and gambling for the past 10 years. He said he didn't know anything about me giving her any money or he wouldn't have let me do it, but that the money is definitely gone. He said that no one in the family knows and asked me to please not say anything. He told me about the problems this has been causing their marriage and a lot of things they have been going through. I'm sympathetic to drug use/addiction. I was a bartender for years and really lived that life. If you know, you know. But since the day I found out I was pregnant, I haven't even had a drink. I've been completely sober. It's easy when you have no friends and only work. My life is essentially my daughter's. Like I said, I do empathize with the situation, but what the hell am I supposed to do now? They are supposed to leave tonight for camping, and now I can't get any of the supplies. I've just been sitting here stunned and crying since he left. She has been looking so forward to this trip. It's not been the easiest for her to switch schools in a different state and make new friends, but she's been really enjoying Girl Scouts. I put her in it because I was in it when I was young and was also able to find friendship there. I don't have anything she could use around here. We're not a camping family, and the last time I went camping was when I went with GS. She's like me, grew like a weed till middle school and will be this size probably for the rest of her life. But the point is, none of her colder weather clothes from last year fit at all. I was literally starting from scratch on this list, and now I'm about to have to tell her that she can't go. And why can't she go? Well, I've been working so much extra, and she knows why. So I tell her I essentially just gave the money away, like, what the hell? I literally feel like I'm going to puke. I want to call my dad and tell him that I'm sorry about what they are going through, but I need that money back, and he needs to get it for me as soon as possible. Would that be too selfish? I know he doesn't have it anyway. He assured me that he'd give it to me if he did while he was here. This just sucks and I really want to confront my stepmom about this. I don't want to act like I don't know and just let it go. She just really hurt my daughter and I don't take that lightly. Update. I called every family member and just let them know I'm having an emergency and asked to borrow some money. I've never asked anyone to borrow money before. It was literally miserable and none of them can help me. I wasn't really even expecting it since it's so close to the holidays. My ex worked hard to cut off all of my friendships, so I have no one else in my life to ask for help. I had just about $300 from when I first started saving for Christmas, so now I'm running around like a maniac trying to get this list done with that. And I guess I'll be praying for a miracle in the next week. All of the physical and mental pain that my ex put me through feels like something else entirely than this. I can't believe this is happening. My daughter has been through so much and she doesn't deserve this. Nothing for Christmas, but I don't have time to figure anything else out. It feels surreal. I'm trying to get all this done before they leave, but I saw people asking for updates. Thank you everyone for your responses. I have more time to write back if/when I get this completed and start figuring out how the hell to still have a Christmas. Update number 2. Is there anything that I can do here? Is there a way to legally force someone to pay you back even if they say they can't? I'm just spiraling here. I've done everything I could for my daughter and I had the money and just handed it to someone else. I essentially gave away her Christmas. Update number 3. As per everyone's suggestions, I decided to take action. I reached out to the police to understand my legal options regarding the money my stepmom took. They were supportive and guided me on the steps to take. Meanwhile, I called various community organizations, including the Salvation Army, to seek assistance for the holidays. And to my surprise, the response from my community was overwhelming. Several local charities offered to help, and even members from this online community reached out with offers of support. It was a reminder that kindness still exists in this world. With their help, not only was I able to gather enough supplies for my daughter's Girl Scout camping trip, but I also received donations and assistance to ensure we had a memorable Christmas. It was heartwarming to see my daughter's face light up with joy, a stark contrast to the despair we felt just days before. So I was working my very first job, and it was the 90s before the term caring got its slang meaning, but the behavior is still the same. I was a teenager doing janitorial work at a local deli. It was winter, or as wintry as the city I used to live in got. Mostly, it was a lot of wind. In fact, on this day, it was in excess of 40 miles per hour, but I still needed to go out and sweep. I still can hardly believe that in 40 plus miles per hour wind, people will still sit outside to eat. Some are unfazed and others just hate it the whole time, but persist for some reason. It's beyond me. Dirt and trash is flowing around. The sweeping was mostly grabbing trash that gets caught, and to dust away dirt that piled up in random spots. And tables still need to be wiped down regularly. So I was on my third sweep of the outdoor eating area, and some guy in business clothes that were wildly flapping in the wind was outside trying to have lunch. It kinda looked like he was summoning some mysterious power or something dramatic like that. As I made my way past his table, he pointed into the wind and shrieked, "Where is that wind coming from?" I looked down the street and pointed in the same direction and then asked, "You see that giant fan?" There actually turned out to be a tall antenna with one of those drum things on it in that direction. In surprise, he yelled, "What?" I think he may have actually believed me for just a moment. Then he scowled and angrily repeated his question. I can't remember the words I used, but I gave him the textbook definition of wind that is memorized in Earth Science class. "Don't get smart with me," he yelled back. After he told me not to get smart with him, I just said, "Okay, so the wind is actually coming from that giant fan over there. We pay a fee to the city for it." As I walked off, the guy yelled, "Why would you do such a thing? I'm going to complain about this." For kicks, I told my boss about it after, and he just laughed like he'd heard it before and said he's heard that one since he was my age doing my job, when his dad was still running the business. And that's a wrap for today's episode of K-Korner. I hope these stories have entertained you, maybe even made you think a bit. Life's a wild ride full of unexpected twists, and we're here to share those moments with you. Thank you for joining me today, and if you liked what you heard, please show your support with a like and a comment. Your feedback means the world to me. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories, and remember to keep it light, fun, and easygoing. Until next time, this is Crown, signing off.